Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're going to slow things right down. We are going to deliberately unpack one of the most profound philosophical evolutions in all of human history, the journey of Siddhartha Gautama. We'll look at exactly how he diagnosed the fundamental problem of human existence and the precise logical steps that led him to his ultimate solution. Let's dive in.
How did a sheltered prince's encounter with suffering lead to the middle way? We are going to explore the specific problem about ordinary life that became absolutely impossible for Siddhartha to ignore, and more importantly, exactly how that very problem directly pushed him toward his famous philosophy.
Section 1. The Sheltered Prince.
To understand his ultimate realization, we first have to understand his starting point. Here was a man who seemingly had it all. He was a feudal lord living in extreme luxury. We're talking 3 different palaces, 40,000 dancing girls, which frankly sounds pretty exhausting. He wore garments of the absolute finest silk and had a white umbrella constantly held over his head to protect him. But here's the crucial detail you've got to remember. Driven by a prophecy, his father systematically shielded Siddhartha from any form of ugliness. The realities of disease, decrepitude, and death, they were completely hidden from him.
Section 2. The 4 passing sights. But as you can probably guess, a life built on an illusion cannot last forever. On a series of highly controlled chariot rides outside his palace walls, Siddhartha encountered 4 things that literally changed human history. First, he saw an old man, decrepit, broken-toothed. For the first time, he learned the fact of old age. On a second ride, he saw a body completely racked with disease. On a third, a corpse. And finally, on a 4th ride, he saw a monk, introducing him to a life of withdrawal. Step by step, these 4 encounters systematically destroyed his sheltered reality.
Section 3. The Inescapable Problem. So, what was the actual inescapable problem Siddhartha formulated from all this? It wasn't just some vague sense of sadness. It was the terrifying realization of inevitable, unavoidable physical deterioration. He observed, life is subject to age and death. Where is the realm of life in which there is neither age nor death? The immense weight of this realization completely crushed his worldview. Absolutely no amount of worldly pleasure, no amount of fine silks can ever mask the transience of the human body.
Once he perceived this inevitability, all those fleshly pleasures totally lost their charm. The lutes, the sumptuous feasts, all of it only mocked his brooding mind. When bodily pain and ultimate passage are 100% guaranteed, distractions become meaningless. This impossible problem pushed him to make a radical break. In the middle of the night, he left his family, shaved his head, and plunged into the forest to seek truth.
Section 4. The Failure of Extremes. He spent the next 6 years in the forest trying to solve this inescapable problem of the physical body by trying to conquer it entirely. He joined a band of ascetics and ate as little as 6 grains of rice a day. Honestly, perhaps the worst diet plan in history. He clenched his teeth until sweat flowed and grew so incredibly emaciated that he could actually feel his spine through his stomach. But here is the profound realization. Destroying the body brought death closer, but it did not solve the problem of suffering.
Think about the stark contrast here. Palace indulgence meant being totally shielded from reality, constantly distracted by pleasure. Extreme asceticism meant starvation and bodily destruction. Both were negative experiments. Both of these extreme phases ultimately failed to provide the spiritual answers he was looking for. Treating the body as a master to be indulged fails, but treating the body as an enemy to be tortured fails equally.
Section 5. Finding the Middle Way.
But this failure of asceticism wasn't a total waste. It actually provided the first constructive plank for his new program, the middle way. This is the concept of the rationed life. It's the understanding that the body must be given exactly what it needs to function optimally, neither indulged nor mortified. Remember that core problem he couldn't ignore, the deterioration of the body? Well, he realized that to transcend that suffering, you cannot destroy the vehicle. The body must be optimally maintained so the mind can do the heavy lifting of liberation.
Let's trace the logic here, step by step. Step 1. Reject the extremes. Step 2. Provide the body with optimal maintenance. He famously accepted a bowl of warm gruel to regain his strength. And step 3, with the body no longer a screaming distraction of either gluttony or starvation, direct all your remaining energy toward rigorous mystic concentration. This was the precise logical sequence that pushed him to finally sit down under the bo tree.
Section 6. The Awakened One.
By bringing his physical body into absolute balance, he essentially removed it as an obstacle. This allowed his mind to meditate deeply, until finally he pierced the bubble of the universe. When people later asked him what he was, a god, an angel, a saint, he simply answered, "I am awake." His journey from a sheltered prince to a starving ascetic ultimately forged the Buddha. He saw the true nature of reality entirely because he learned to navigate the problem of the physical body through the middle way.
So, I want to leave you with this thought to mull over. In a world completely filled with modern palaces and endless distractions, how does the Buddhist challenge to confront human suffering directly influence your own search for meaning? Think about the extremes in your own life and where your middle way might be found. Thank you for joining me for this explainer.